Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. It's still here. Today I've got an amazing guest. We're going to be talking everything money, investing. See, we nurses, we don't know how to invest. Come, guys, come, let's talk about this. And this is making us poor. In my previous videos, I talked about how nurses are broke, how we are living from paycheck to paycheck, and honestly, I don't know why it's a taboo for us to talk about money. I don't know why. Maybe from the part of the world we come from, it's just a taboo to talk about how much we earn, what we saved, and like investing and all that. I mean, I understand village people are there, but come on, if we don't talk about this, how can we learn? How can we grow? And how can we make more? So today I have a nurse who will talk to us about investing. I have been watching his videos for a while now, and I have like basic knowledge of investing, but watching this video has made me to understand more about investing. So I thought I'll bring him on my channel and then we'll talk about it so that every other nurses out there can benefit from this. So I'll let him introduce himself and we'll go from there.
Okay, so by way of introduction, my name is Uthman, and I basically train in Nigeria, but I'm currently working in the UK. So I'm a child nurse, and I am a financial enthusiast. So that led me to make more researches into getting my personal finance together, what I can
Mhm.
invest in to grow my money, and how I'm working to retire early and be financially free. Yeah.
Do you know me? I
So
want to retire when I'm 45.
I mean, it's possible, really. It's possible
I'm,
if
yeah,
somebody
that's
really
my
get the money
goal.
working for them. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I want this video to be very simplified so that people that do not have any knowledge at all about investing will get something out of it. So can you tell us what, like in the layman thing, what is investing? Like what does investing means?
Okay. So to break investing down in a layman term, investing technically means getting your money working for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you get salary, you get a paycheck today. The money goes directly into your bank account.
Yep.
So that money sitting in your bank account is not doing anything. The money is
Mm-hmm.
just there. If you check the money again tomorrow or even next year, it's still going to be the same. Or you are getting some 0 point something percent as
Mm-hmm.
interest from your bank, which doesn't really amount to anything. Now, you are someone that doesn't want your money to just be there. You want that money to be working for you even when you are sleeping. You want the money to be making money, which is how rich people make more money. So
Exactly.
that is what investing is in layman term. So you are
Mm-hmm.
getting your money to work for you. It now depends on how you want to get your money working for you. That's when we'll be talking about the investment vehicles that are around. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And for someone who is going to like start, like this is my first day, I don't know anything about investing.
Mm,
What is your first advice you're going to give me before I start investing my money? Because I know that all investment has risk. And
mm.
if I'm starting off fresh, I know I'll be scared to lose my money because I don't know how this market is or what to do with my money. So, what's your very first advice you give anyone that has spare money to invest in?
Okay. So if you are just meeting me for the first time and you want to start investing but don't know anything about what investment is all about, here is how we are going to start. First off, there are some things you need to put in place before you
Mhm.
start putting your money to work at all. Because if you just put your money to work without doing some necessary things, you are likely going to lose your money.
Yeah.
All investment of all form have risk. And when
Yes.
they say something have risk, it means you can lose your money doing that thing.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to lose your money, you need to do it right.
Mm-hmm.
So now there are 5 things that I will first tell you to do
Mm-hmm.
before you start investing at all.
Yep.
The first one is financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to seek knowledge about what investing is all about, especially about what you want to invest in. There's one popular book called The Richest Man in Babylon. If anyone have read it, one of the story in there, as part of the principle, is when the man called Arkad in that book, he invested some of his money with someone that he calls a friend, who is not a gold dweller, to help him buy some jewelries in a country that he's traveling to. But that person doesn't know anything about gold. But he gave his money to that person to buy the gold for him. So at the end of the day, to cut the long story short, he bought him fake gold. And in turn, he lost all his money. So before you start putting your money into anything at all, you need to have adequate knowledge about that thing. If you want to invest in real estate, you need to understand what real estate is all about. You need to talk to people that have been doing it and understand it to let you know everything involved. And then you will now know whether it is for you. If you want to go into stock markets, you need to understand all the basics of stock markets before you start putting your money in the market. If it's crypto, you need to understand what crypto is all about before you put your money in there. Knowing all this will let you assess your own risk appetite as well, to know which type of investment really suits your goal and your personal self. So that's the first thing. And you can get financial literacy through reading books. Books like Psychology of Money, very good book. Tells you about money in general, tells you about stories of people that have invested and how they've made it. Tells you about how you can start from little and achieve something on the long run. So Psychology of Money is a good book. If you want to understand the basic rules of personal finance, books like The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason is good. The Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, very good book. Tells you to understand the difference between liability and assets. Help you understand if you're a salary earner, an employer, or a business owner. So that book is good. If you are aiming to retire early and be financially free, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins is a good book, amazing book. It tells you the step by step on what to invest in. As a matter of fact, how much you are going to be withdrawing when you retire. So there are amazing books out there. Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. It's a good book to read. Get those books, familiarize yourself with it, and you'll be amazing. That's the first thing. Podcasts are there on Spotify, on YouTube. There are amazing podcasts on finance, but all you just need to do is search finance podcast, and you'll see loads. You can't even finish them. By the time you listen to one or two podcasts, you'll be familiar with whatever you want to do is all about. So those are ways that you can get knowledge on whatever you want to do, and it's the first step before you start investing. The second thing you need to put in place is
Before you
that
go to the second one, let me just say, guys, please use this opportunity to follow him on YouTube. He has amazing content. Honestly, I'm telling you, he has so many videos that you find useful. How can we find you on YouTube?
the name is Not Investor on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I'm also going to
So
put
yeah,
his link in the description box so that you people can follow him. Please, guys, support him. He's also a nurse in the UK. Whatever he shares is like basically very relatable because most of my viewers are in the UK, so I believe they will benefit so much from your video. So please, guys, go follow him on YouTube. Thank you.
yeah.
Okay, continue.
So the second thing is you need to have a long-term mindset when you are investing. When you are investing in anything, you don't approach it with a get-rich-quick scheme. If you approach it like that, you are going to lose money.
Yeah.
Having a long-term mindset gives you time to play around. Because most investments are in waves. They goes up and down, up and down. But only when you invest for a longer time period, it always goes up. So you need to have the long-term mindset before you start. Another thing you need to have in place is emergency fund. You must have emergency fund if you want to start investing. I just mentioned now that investment goes up and down. If you have emergency fund, whether your investment is going up or down, it doesn't really matter to you because you are not going to touch it anyway. You have an emergency. And the thing about emergency is that it's a matter of when, not if. It's going to happen. It just happens in different ways. Some people will lose their job, some will lose their house, some will have one problem or the other with their family member. So emergency will always come as so far as you are a human being. So, but when it comes, you need to be sure that you have something to fall back on. And it will serve as a cushion for you not to sell your investment at a loss. Because if you don't have emergency fund and whatever you are investing in is down at that point in time, you don't have option than to sell the investment. And you'll be losing money if you do that. It's recommended that if people want to start, they should at least have at least £1,000 or whatever they have You are in Australia, 1,000 Australian dollar. You are in the US, 1,000 US dollar. Have that first, and then start your investing. But on monthly basis or on regular basis, be contributing to that emergency fund as well, so that you have something like 3 to 6 months of your expenses. By the time you have 3 months of your expenses, it gives you peace of mind that you have something in place. So that's number three. Another thing you should have in place before you start investing at all is sorting out your debts.
Mm.
If you have a lot of debts, I'm talking about consumers' debts here. Things like credit card, buy now, pay later. Most of these things have very high interest rates. The lowest of credit card that you see will be around 20% of interest. Now, if you are investing in, let's say, like the stock market, the average return over the long term on the stock market is like 10% annually. What that means is that sometimes you get 20%, sometimes you get 4%. But when it balances out, on average, you get 10%. Like this year now, the S&P 500 has done like 27%, which is amazing. So if you now have a credit card that is charging you interest of 20% and investment is bringing 10%,
Yeah,
wouldn't
losing.
it be wise to pay off the credit card? Because you are making more money paying off that credit card than you will make in your investment.
Yeah, true.
So it's better off to sort out your debts before you start investing. If you now have all this thing in place, then we are ready to start investing. It now depends on now, what do we invest in? So that's where the amount of capital you have comes in. Obviously, most of our viewers are going to be nurses.
Yeah.
Most nurses are middle to low income earner. Yeah, we are not high earner. For instance, in the UK now, a band 5 nurses, the highest form of band 5 earns about, I think it's been increased to 37,000 now. That's the highest band of band 5. So you can imagine you are earning 37,000 pounds. On the long run, the net pay monthly should be around 2, 3 or thereabouts. So if you are someone that is having low income and you don't have enough capital at hand, then what you should consider is what requires a low barrier of entry that doesn't require huge capital to start. That is what you should consider investing in. If you are someone that have huge amount of cash lying around somewhere, obviously you can diversify and invest in different assets. You can invest in real estate, you can invest in stock markets. But for someone that is having low income, the best place to start is in the stock market because the barrier of entry is very low. If you are anywhere you are in the world, not even just UK, US, even Australia, you can start with as low as $10, £10 to start your investment in the stock market. Meanwhile, if you are considering things like the real estate, you need to have some form of capital for deposit, which you may not have if you are someone on low income. So that's what you are now going to assess. Crypto market is there. We need to talk about it. I don't like talking about it so much on my channel and TikTok because most of my followers are new people just starting their investment because it's a high risk bet. But because
It's
this is
very
a much
volatile.
larger audience, we may have some people that are high risk as well. If you are a high risk individual, you can consider crypto investment as well. It's also a low barrier of entry investment that you can start with as small as £10 as well. So the next thing you need to do now is to assess your risk appetite. How can you take risk? Are you a person that have high risk appetite or low risk appetite? If you have low risk appetite, then you should consider the stock market. Even though inside the stock market as well, there are some things in the stock market that are very high risk as well, of which we are going to address later in this discussion. But it depends on how you approach it. But the stock market is still low risk than things like crypto markets. So yeah, that's on that one. Yeah.
I just want to ship in something. When you talk about this crypto, let me tell you my own experience. So the first time I got crypto, immediately I bought it. To tell you how volatile it is. Like crypto is like very crazy. Like when I bought crypto, it dropped by 20%
Mhm.
immediately. So that's why what you said is very good. One, have emergency fund. Like I wouldn't need that money in years, so it's not my business if it drops immediately. and also like have like your risk appetite. That's how it's gonna be depend. Like when I bought it, I was scared immediately, to be honest, because it was my first time. But then, like you said, I already had money that I will use for anything I need, not that particular money I used to buy in the
Yeah,
crypto. So I just left it. And to be honest, I don't even really check that much because I don't want to be seeing it go down, go down. But I know it's gonna keep going on. Like of recent, crypto was going to hit 100,000. I
yeah,
don't know if you.
Bitcoin, yeah.
Sorry, Bitcoin itself, Bitcoin. And so it's just like how much appetite you have to invest in these things. And like if you have emergency savings, you won't be worried about it dipping that much.
Exactly. That's why it's important that people put some of these things in place. The thing is that most people want to make quick bucks. Let me tell you the most common question I get on daily basis. My follower is now increasing on TikTok a lot. I wasn't even expecting that. I have like over 5,000 now there, which is surprising. But anyway, let me tell you the question I get every day. People are searching for what is hot at the moment. It's going mad after the US election. It
Yeah,
started to go mad. Everyone now are asking me how they can start investing in crypto.
it's going to drop very
What
soon.
what is the next coin that's going to go up 10 times? That's what they are asking. So when is the stock market as well? People will ask, which stock can I invest and I'll start making money like tomorrow or in a week? That's what people are looking for. And that's why most people lose their money. People easily get caught in this frenzy of the moment. But I'll tell you for free, all the stocks that have made more money are stocks that have been invested in for over 2 years. Those are where I've made more money. The one I've invested for a lower time frame, I've not made as much money as I've made in those I've invested in for the long time.
Mm.
When Bitcoin was around 20,000, I was buying it. There are Twitter posts that I was still posting then that people should, if you have a long term mindset, you don't have to worry. Just keep
Mm.
buying. I still bought last week to tell you when it's still around 96K. I still bought. I don't mind because I'm playing the long game. And the portfolio is up over 100%. So this goes to tell people that long term mindset always win at all time when you are investing in anything.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So what apps or what websites can I use if I want to start investing? So let's say I have £1,000 now that I want to invest. Which app, website, or how do I start?